Okay, so welcome everybody. We just spent some time talking to Karen McCoy regarding the information I just found out about it. This information is important for everybody, and I mean everybody, whether you're Catholic or not. This information, I believe, in my heart, is very important for everybody. I mean everybody, even investors, even people who are waiting for the dinar. Everybody needs to be on this call. As you know, I'm Catholic. I have been talking about prophetic word of the Virgin Mary. I've been I've been listening both sides, Catholic and Protestant prophecies. I do not, and I have not ever doubt about a people as man or woman becoming a true prophet based on their behavior and based what they said. For example, I never ever said that uh, Brother Charlie Sheen was a false prophet. I just said I'm going to stop following him for what he's doing. I believe he's a good prophet. I believe that King Clement was a true prophet. I believe that some of the female prophets that we've been talking about are true prophets too, and they're all Protestants. I have never called them false prophets because I still listen to them. Now, knowing that the men and women are not perfect. They do commit a lot of mistakes, and that's perfectly fine. I'm not expecting somebody to be perfect. Um, but then I went to the Catholic side. I we probably have one of the most accurate prophets, Maria Canwell, who's Catholic, and she's not perfect either. And we have her prophecies. But then I thought about the Virgin Mary. The Virgin Mary is an angel, is the mother of the Lord, and she's she's in heaven. She if she's in heaven. If you truly believe that once you're in heaven, you're clean, you're no longer imperfect, you are basically perfect, then you believe her message. Now, again, if you're a Protestant, if you don't believe it about the Virgin Mary, that's fine. That's totally fine. But I want you to know what I'm about to tell you, and I want you to please consider the fact that it might happen exactly as I tell you. Let me explain for the beginning. If you believe in DRB, if you believe about the new paradigm that I've been talking about it for the last 10 years, if you believe in the new paradigm, if you believe on the end of times, because I not so long ago, I asked Karen McCoy, can you explain to me what is exactly the end of times? Everybody's talking about the end of times, the end of times, the end of times. What the heck is that? I never heard it. I mean, I need to ask questions, right? So I say, what is the end of times? So I asked Karen McCoy. So I got one feedback from Karen McCoy. Well, basically, is before or when before Jesus can come back. All right, that's understandable. So following the same pattern, the same path, the same model of thinking about the end of times, let's consider it that the whole world will go crazy. Now, let's start from the beginning. I don't want to confuse you. The beginning was that the prophetic word of King Clement. That's the beginning for us. For me, as a Catholic who was away from a church, away from all this spiritual stuff, for every single Protestant who believe about the prophetic words of a Protestant prophet called King Clement, what is the prophetic word of that King Clement? The prophetic word of King Clement talks about the end of times. I will tell you why. Everybody in the Protestant church, in the Protestant community, called it the dinar prophecy. I never called it the dinar prophecy. I called this prophetic word the new paradigm prophecy, because when you hear what he says, you realize that the world will never be the same. When he talks about the break in the financial system in the Middle East, the world will never be the same. When he said about the dinar, the world will never be the same. Imagine a dinar 3 times, 4 times, 5 times more expensive than the American dollar. The world will never be the same. Then, if we move to that place, to this place called when things seem at the worst, the world will never be the same. And then, at the end of the prophetic word, said the Lord, I want you to stretch out your hands to the poor, to the lonely, and to the hungry. Those are my wishes, said the Lord. It means that half of humanity might end up with nothing. A big famine will come. A catastrophe of economies around the world will happen, because the world will never be the same. The end of times. If we at least agree 80% of what I just said, maybe what I'm about to tell you is going to convince you. Following the first step in our journey to the new paradigm. Now, then, after hearing false prophets and good prophets, I said to myself, where are the Catholics? Because we are the first church. There was no Protestant churches back then, about 2,000 years. There were no churches. About 1,000 years, there was no denominations. It's only, the whole world was one church, one religion. It was the Catholic Roman Church. And that's a fact. It's nothing that I'm making up. It's in the books of history. It's everywhere. We have archaeological evidence. We have historical evidence. Take a look around. Okay? So we have to have a prophetic word that will go along with the new paradigm. So through all these years, I've been following both Catholic and Protestants. And I've learned a lot from the Catholic. Then I said to myself, Beny, listen to the Virgin Mary. So I lead you guys, all of you, to the prophetic word of the Virgin Mary, or Lourdes. 110 years ago, I believe that's happened, when she requests the Vatican to consecrate Russia under the Immaculate Name of Mary. After 100 years of denying the request of the Virgin Mary, Pope Francis finally did the consecration of Russia. We all follow that event. We all look at the video. Some of you felt the power of God when they were watching the video. And I even have testimony of Protestants saying, Benny, it was special. I never seen Mary the same way I seen her right now. It was very powerful. Thank you. So now, once again, I gotta tell you what I just found out about it. And I'm shocked. I am overwhelmed for the information I just found out about it. Let me tell you what it was. Just about 2 hours ago, the biggest theologist, Catholic theologist, Taylor Marshall, in the world, came out with a broadcasting on YouTube talking about the visit from Pope Francis to Russia. According to the news, Pope Francis has said that he wants to visit Russia and that we don't have a date yet when he wants to visit Russia. We need to watch his visitation to Russia. Everybody must watch the visitation of Pope Francis to Russia.
In the alleged apparition at Garabandal, the visionary said, and here's the quote, "The Pope will go to Russia, to Moscow. As soon as he returns to the Vatican, hostilities will break out in different parts of Europe." Now, this is notable because Pope Francis twice in the last year has said that he deeply desires to go to Russia. He's already had several meetings with Vladimir Putin and with Kirill, the patriarch. There's a picture of Pope Francis, Vladimir Putin, and Archbishop Georg Ganswein in the background, rather controversial. Pope Francis has said that he would like to travel to Russia, to go to St. Petersburg and to go to Moscow. And he says, quote, "I am ready to go to Moscow." This is Pope Francis. "I'm ready to go to Moscow for a dialogue with a brother." And here he's referring to Patriarch Kirill, who is the head, the patriarch of the Russian Orthodox Church. Francis also told reporters on an airplane interview, we know that Francis is famous for those, that visiting Russia and meeting with Kirill was on a, quote, horizon that is not too far away.
If you be patient, I will let you know why the RB will happen. Please be patient. I will let you know why. So Pope Francis was the one who signed the RB in Iraq. Long time ago. It's been, what, 2 years, maybe? And now he wants to visit Russia. You need to understand that Pope Francis is right now the most unpopular Pope we ever had. They want him out. And I'm going to be honest, I'm one of them. Because everything he's been saying it is not conservative. He's the most liberal Pope we ever had in the Vatican. But God knows what he's doing, right? So now he wants to visit Russia. What I didn't know, it was that his visit was prophesied by the Virgin Mary. I didn't know that. According to the sources, The Virgin Mary who appeared in the Garabandal is a little small town in Spain. She appeared to 4 little girls. Those 4 little girls, one of them is still alive. Her name is Conchita. Conchita said that the Holy Mother told her that as soon as the Pope return from his visit to Russia, a huge conflict will happen in Europe. A conflict.
Yeah, I do. I would like to add also that Conchita confirmed twice that Mary told her that there would not be a World War III. So I at least like to bring that point forward, because obviously people assume immediately this Russian war that's going on is going to escalate immediately into World War III. So I believe it's part of the prophecy too, when God said when things are at its worst, he's going to stop everything and bring the warning. So to me, that indicates, yes, this will escalate, it'll get bad, but hopefully it won't get to the point of World War III, because more than once Mary had indicated to Conchita that there will never be a World War III. So I hope that brings some peace and comfort to people who are listening.
Now, let me remind you what I just found out about it. I found out that the same Virgin Mary said that we are not going to have a nuclear war. He mentioned that to Conchita twice. What was the whole ritual, the whole visit, the whole consecration to Russia is to prevent World War III. So now we have the confirmation from the same Virgin saying there will be no World War III. But we're all going to be afraid for what is going to happen after the Pope returns to Europe, because a huge conflict will happen in Europe. And Russia is going to be part of it. Let's remember that the Virgin Mary warned us that if that what happened in the Vatican by consecrating Russia, it was not made on time, then Russia will spread their mistakes all over the world. That's the way the Virgin Mary say, mistakes or errors. So what is she talking about? Nuclear war, World War III. That's what she's talking about. So according to the Lord told me, he said that we all going to be afraid, because people will say we all going to be afraid because World War III is coming. But the Lord said, do not worry. I will free you. That's what the Lord told me. I will free you. Free you. Free from what? From fear? I don't know. And then he said, I will bless you. Will that be the RB? Well, take a look at the video that I found out about it. In the video that I found out about it, the man talking, he said this: when things seems at the worst, God will come and said, no war. So now God is telling me, the RB, in the middle of the conflict in Europe, we will have the break of the financial system. Where? In the Middle East. We will have at the same time the dinar coming out. Through all these years, God has been giving us the 12 days of Christmas. Through all these years, God's been leading us to follow England. Why England? England is no more part of the community, European community. England's no more in the euro. England's now depending in their currency, is depending now, independent. So God has been leading us little by little. What's coming in the near future? There will be a huge conflict in Europe. And the whole world will think we are World War III. And in the middle of that, there will be financial breaking stuff. How the financial system works, the dissolution of the fiat system, and then the dinar. But here's the part that most of you don't know. We're also going to have the 3 days of darkness. According to the Catholic theologies, the 3 days of darkness are the equivalent of the 3 days of Jesus, the 3 days that we don't have Jesus. For example, in the Bible, talks about the 3 days when Joseph and Mary lost Jesus and found him in the synagogue teaching people. We also have the 3 days that our Lord Jesus Christ was dead and went to the dead and then resurrected from the dead. How many days? 3 days. So Marshall Taylor doesn't believe fully in the 3 days of darkness. But now he used to only be a believer 20%, and now he's saying that he believes 80% of the prophetic word of 3 days of darkness. Now let me explain something. The 3 days of darkness has been also prophesied by Protestant prophets. But the first one who prophesied about the 3 days of darkness was about 100 and something years ago by the name of the biggest prophet of the Catholic Church, Padre Pio. Padre Pio prophesied the 3 days of darkness. Now hear me what I'm about to shock you, because I'm about to shock you, because I'm shocked. I just didn't know nothing about it. Padre Pio, he talked about the Garabandal event. I didn't know that. We're talking about over 65 years after his death of the event of the Virgin Mary in Garabandal. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about an event that happened years later. So, what is the event? The huge majority of Catholics are calling the Garabandal event that is going to come to the whole humanity. They call him the last warning. The last warning, it might happen before you know it. When every single soul, whether they're Christians or not, whether they're atheists, Muslims, everywhere, they're all going to find out in a place where they will see their sins, when they will see their mistakes, where every single soul will see themselves, their status with the living God. A big, huge awakening of the conscious of humanity. So everything is coming through. Everything the Virgin Mary has told us is coming true. Now, a huge part of the community in the Catholic Church are telling everybody to gather candles. Big wax candles. A big wax candle historically has biblical use and historical use. Big wax candles. When the 3 days of darkness happen, you cannot go out or you will die. You cannot have your windows open to the light or you will die. For 3 days and 3 nights, you will be at home or you're going to die. Now the huge community, the biggest community in the world of Christianity, the Catholic community, is now getting big wax candles, preparing for the event. Now, I understand many Protestants, my brothers Protestants, do not believe in that. That's fine. But what if it happened? What if this event happened in the most unexpected way? What if the prophetic word of Protestants and Catholic prophets has been saying it will happen and you get caught up in the middle and don't recognize the event? I'm here to tell you, just in case, get big wax candles. You cannot buy the big wax candles. You cannot buy the big wax candle. If you can find a church, they can get you to donate some money. If you can get by donating money, the candles, go ahead and get them. But you cannot buy those candles because the moment that you buy those candles, it becomes unholy. I don't know a place because I just found out about it. Maybe later on, some of you people can find out where we can get those big wax candles and just get a donation for them. It will be nice. I'm going to find out in my end where I can get those candles without buying those candles. And if I can get those candles without buying those candles, I will let you know. And I will let you know how many I got, available. And I'll be happy to ship it to you for those who are not Catholics. For those who are not Catholics. Okay? Now, there's more. There's more, people. The Lord told us that when things seem at the worst, that was a symbol, a signal. That was the signal to know when the RV will happen. So what is the signal? The signal is that when we are in the middle of the World War III, then we will see the break in the financial system in the Middle East. I'm going to stand for that. I'm going to stick with this. I'm not going to change my narrative. I'm not going to contradict myself. From starting today, I will tell the whole world, when we're in the middle of that World War III, and everybody's fear for their lives. When everything starts in Europe, that will be the high alert for the RB. I'm going to tell the whole world about that. So that's the symbol for the RB. Second thing, if we have an international conflict, the way I see it, we're going to have famine around the world because there will be lack of food. And we also going to have problems with water. Things are going to go wild. Things are going to go crazy. For how long? I don't know. Hopefully, it will be only 3 months. That's what I've been telling you. Get food, get medication, all this for at least can last you 3 months. You see? I'm not contradicting myself. Now we know when the RB will happen. Not based on what I said, but based on both churches, Protestants and Catholics. And then I said before, your religion will not be the same. Some of you will lose your religion. I said it. Do you know that in Russia, the Orthodox Catholic Church has excommunicated the rest of all the Orthodox churches in the world? If you didn't know that, now you know. Do you know that Pope Francis said that he will resign from the papacy once he returns from Russia? Did you know that? Now you know. That reset will take place because all the corruption in the financial system will crumble. All the corruption in the church will crumble. And the whole humanity will start from zero after the Garabandal event, when every single soul will see the status to the living God. The last warning. Church, financial system, the whole thing will crumble. And the whole humanity will start from zero. Did I contradict myself? No, I did not. That's coming. That is coming. I'm sharing this information for those who are interested in this information. For those who don't believe in God, they might find this information interesting too. But in no way I'm telling you to become Catholic. I never said that. In no way I'm trying to influence in your own decisions and your own religion. I'm respecting you. I'm respecting your life. I'm respecting your integrity. I'm respecting you because I love you. In no way I'm trying to convince you to become Catholic. I'm just sharing information. You want to bring something else, Karen?
No, Ben, when we were talking, and we were talking about the 3 days of darkness, and we were talking about both Catholic and Protestant prophets, it's so important for us to listen for the true prophets and not be, caused to reject them because they don't attend our church or they don't believe exactly like we believe. Truth is truth. And so we need to press into truth, and we need to listen to this. When we were talking, Ben, and you told me that Padre Pio, who is a powerful, powerful prophet, had 65 years before had prophesied that this event would take place. So, we're seeing prophecy in the purity coming to pass. We will see it. We will see. We've been talking about false prophetic, false prophecies, false prophets, and true prophecies and true prophets. And it is converging now. There's something taking place now. And we were saying it's like a convergence. It's like a pinnacle. Everything is coming together, and we're seeing fulfillment after fulfillment after fulfillment. So we need to press in, be aware, open up our understanding, not be offended, but to press in and look and see what the Lord is saying through his chosen vessels.
There was an event that happens on Earth about, well, first of all, we don't know how long what that it was, but the scientists in the elite have talked about that this event happened about 1,000 years ago, and it happens on one side of planet Earth, and all these people vanish because what happened. So what's happened? So it says that in the universe there's something that is called gases. That's the way I understood. It was some type of cosmic gas that goes through into galaxies and gets into some planets. And when it touches some planets, it kills people because it's toxic and people die. So they believe, this is what the elites believe, that the 3 days of darkness will be because of this same astronomical event that happened about 1,000 years ago. And that's all I know. Okay? So just to let you guys know. Okay? All right. We're going to let some other people talk. Royal King actor. Go ahead. Royal King.
Hi, Benny. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I hear you. Hold on. Hey, Benny, can you hear me?
Yes. I can hear you.
Okay. Good afternoon from California. I know a little bit about the 3 days of darkness. The Lord revealed that don't get a candle with those incense, just plain candle,
Yes, no.
white.
The Lord, we the Catholic Church have always used beeswax candle,
Okay.
not
And also,
aromatic candles.
right. And
Hmm.
also the guy that was asking the question, the sign. Actually, there will be like a borealis, that's the one that you see in Alaska, the Northern Lights. You will see that
Yeah,
all over the world.
yeah.
That's the sign that about to turn the 3 days of darkness.
Okay. All right. Hopefully that will make it. Okay. Anybody
Thank you.
else? Okay. Anybody else? Okay, Tim. Go ahead, Tim. 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 Some people have a problem speaking out.
Okay, I'm sorry, Benny.
All right.
After the Pope resigns, how are local parishes going to be able to keep the church community together?
Well, that's another event. You know, that's another complication. Because we know through the prophetic word of two Catholic priests, they have prophesied that after Pope Francis resigned or being removed from the Vatican, the Antichrist will come out. So we know that the next Pope probably will be the Antichrist. Okay?
But don't
But
we need local shepherds
for what?
to keep the church together, to keep the
The church
people?
will never die. The Lord Jesus Christ told Peter that this stone, he told Peter, you are the stone, and under this stone I will build my church, and my church will not, and the and the gates of hell will not prevail on my church. So don't worry about the church. The church and the remnants will still prevail.
Excellent point. Thank you so much, Benny. God bless you.
All right, Mauricio, you want to say something? Go ahead.
Yes, I was just wondering, is the Antichrist a being, a man, or like a AI, the artificial intelligence?
Okay, the Bible talks about that. The Bible doesn't talk about one entity. The Bible talks about several entities. It says Antichrist. There will be several Antichrists. So it can be a system, a financial system. It can be a health system. It can be a pope, a leader. Why? Because the Bible doesn't contradict itself. Why are we wrestling around? Are we wrestling around with one against one entity? No. We're wrestling in a system. We're wrestling a principality. Principality. What is principality? Go ahead and go to Google and just type what is principality, and it will tell you the prince of the rule. Who's the prince of the rules of the world? Satan. Who's the king in the world? Satan. Satan is the king in the world, not Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ is coming to get his church and his people. We are from this world, but we're not from this world. Okay? Go ahead. Anybody else?
Thank you.
Anybody else? All right, I think, okay. We got Joseph. Go ahead, Joseph. Go ahead, Joseph. Joseph.
How's
All right.
about now? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Oh, thanks, Benny. I'm from Alberta, Canada, and I really appreciate your show. I just happened to come in maybe 5 minutes ago, so I'm not sure what you guys were talking about, but I did ask you a question regarding when it comes to everything that you know so far. I've been really following the prophetic things when it comes to the wealth transfer as well, and everything that you know so far. What do you feel would be that event that the prophet Kim Clement said when it comes to the Iraqi dinar? Why now?
Well, we already talked about that. Okay, so I would suggest that you wait for the video to be uploaded so you can see the whole video. Sunset wants to talk about right now. She wants to say something. Go ahead, Sunset.
Benny, do you think? I mean, I caught the most of it, but my question is,
Okay, let
do
me
you
just
think?
hold on.
Sure.
Hold on 1 second. I don't want to be rude with you. Okay?
Okay.
Saying the truth. I'm just saying the truth. Let's all be organized. It's not my fault that you guys are late. It's not my fault. Okay? But it's unfair for the people who were not late for me to go on and repeat myself
If
on
it's a
and
question,
on and on.
sure. If it's a question that I asked that you already spoke about, we can just end it. But I don't
Yes.
think anybody. I don't think anybody asked.
So
So
what is
my
the
question
question?
to you. So my question to you is: do you think that we're in the last 7 years?
We are in the last 7 years. We haven't started the 7 years.
We haven't started. Okay.
No. We're
All
going
right.
to start the 7 years until everything has end. Okay?
What do you mean by that?
Well, when the whole system has end. Do we have the same FIA system?
No.
Yes.
No. I mean, we still have the FIA system, right? So
Right.
have we end up the FIA system?
Okay. So when the fiat system ends, it begins the last 7 years. Correct.
The last 7 years.
Okay. That's what I thought. All right.
Okay?
Thank you.
All right. Anybody else? Anybody else?
Um, I was reading that 7 years start on September because September last year because it's we go by the calendar of Shemitah.
What are you talking about? Can you please be more specific what you're talking about?
Um, with the Jews, the Jews they go
No, no, no.
by the
Hold on
Shemitah.
1 second. I know what you're saying about whatever calendar you believe on. What exactly are you talking about?
No, I was just trying to figure out if that was the calendar that we go through
It doesn't
or
matter.
there's a
Let me
different
tell
one.
you something about calendars, okay? There is no calendar more accurate than the Mayan calendar, and that's based on scientists. That's what I said. That doesn't matter the calendar. It can be you. It can be the calendar that we all using. It doesn't matter. It will happen under the Mayan calendar, whether you like it or not. The Mayan calendar is the most accurate calendar in the face of the world. It has been for years, decades. For decades, the scientists in NASA, scientists around the world, they've been trying to figure out why the Mayan calendar was able to prophesize, to predict everything coming right now. Everything. For example, the climate change is in the Mayan calendar. When people will believe why climate is changing, there is no climate change. 5,000 of years ago, the Mayans, my ancestors, told the whole humanity there is no climate change. There is a process that is called Kukulkan. And Kukulkan was a god back then that, that controlled the climate, the world, the universe, the energies around the world in the universe. Uh, they had a circle, a circle system that right now is affecting the climate. Even in the Mayan has who has not been totally understood, but they know that everything they've been saying it keeps coming and coming and coming. Now it's talking about big floods. Big floods are coming. Tsunamis are coming. Earthquakes are coming. Mini, mini ice age are coming. Everything is in the Mayan calendar. Where do you think all these false prophets getting the stuff from? They're getting the stuff from the Mayan calendar. They go to Mexico. There's a program in Mexico. They're all talking about in Spanish. what is happening. They already know what's happening. Do you guys know that?
No.
There you go. In Mexico, there are scientists who spend hours and hours and hours trying to figure out how these people were able to predict the stuff that is happening around the world. He's talking about the new gold system. He's talking about a gold era, a gold humanity. He's talking about a generation based on gold. It's going to be the best generation of humanity that is coming right now. The new paradigm. The new paradigm. I've been telling you.
Yeah, Benny, but it's the end. So what is so great about it?
What do you mean is the end? It's the end of the old system.
Yeah, but I mean, the Antichrist is coming. So like we're waiting to go to
It's
heaven. We
the
don't care
end
about
of
this
the old
stuff.
system. It's the end of the old system. Is the end of the old system. The Antichrist is the end of the old system.
I get you. Okay, now I get you.
See? It's the end of the old system.
Yeah, it's not the end of the world, people.
Before it gets better, it's going to get worse. Got it? Before it gets better, it's going to get worse. And all of you are the pioneers. All of you. The people between 40 years and down, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, like my mother, you will see the beginning of the new paradigm.
So are we going to meet Jesus? Is that what you're saying?
Jesus. What do you mean we're gonna need Jesus? What do
He's
you mean?
coming.
Are we all gonna need Jesus? What are you talking about?
You said that this is the end of the old system, and
Yes.
now we have a new system coming, and of course Jesus is going to show up because he's coming back for his people, right?
You see, that's where you guys are totally wrong.
That's why we're asking.
That's wrong. Yeah, that's wrong, Ben.
You guys are totally wrong. I've been telling you that. See, you're coming from a church that tomorrow Jesus is coming for you. You're coming from a church that the rapture. Oh, the rapture. We all gonna get caught up in the air. You guys make no sense, no biblical sense. You make no spiritual sense. I've been quiet all this time. I just let you speak. But the problem is that when you ask all these questions, you confuse the people, and the people keep being confused. What is the number one problem of why people are why the people are vanishing? Lack of knowledge. Lack of knowledge.
And
And
taught
now they're
false
attacking me.
things, Ben. They're
And
taught.
now they're
Yeah.
attacking me. Now they're attacking me. Now after 10 years, and now they're attacking me. See, because people are triggered. People are triggered. Before, when I tell you something that it goes against your beliefs, now I'm your asshole. Now I am your enemy. Without even telling you why you're wrong. Do you want me to explain why you're wrong?
I'm asking a question. I want to understand what you're saying.
Okay? Is Jesus part of the old system?
No.
No.
No. Did I say that?
No, you did not.
I didn't say that. Let's talk about one thing. Was Jesus promoting the system, or he is the anti-system?
Anti-system.
He's the anti-system. What is the antichrist?
Anti-Jesus.
Anti-Jesus. What is the global financial forum? What is it?
Antichrist.
It's the antichrist. What is this knowledge of the non-gender?
Antichrist.
Antichrist. What is the transvestite people in the LGBT class plus 1,000 motherfucking crazy motherfuckers? What are they?
It's
What are
Satan.
they?
Yeah.
Antichrist.
Antichrist. Yeah.
Antichrist. What is all this about? Progress.
It's
Huh?
progress for them. They want progress.
What
Yeah.
are the liberals? What are the liberals? What are they promoting? Progress? The progress, liberal progress, the Democrats, progressives
Yes.
or progress? What is
Mm-hmm.
that? The
Antichrist.
Antichrist. What is this whole abortion and the rise for the this is my body, my fucking election? What is that?
I understand. We're at war with them.
Well,
I
keep
understand.
repeating because people need to know. Keep repeating it. What is wrong with you? It
Antichrist.
is the Antichrist. Antichrist means going against the gospel of the living God. That is the Antichrist. Anything that Jesus Christ himself said, do not do, is against me. That is the Antichrist. The Antichrist is against an abomination of the living God. That is the Antichrist. Get it straight out. Get it straight out. Anything that goes against the body of the living God is against God. It's called the Antichrist. When they tell you we are the human rights, we protect the human rights, is that for Christ or is against Christ? Tell me. Anybody?
That's for Christ.
For Christ?
Protecting people.
Wrong. Wrong. 100% wrong. Any
You mean
organization,
protecting abortion? Is that what
any
you're saying? Yeah,
organization,
that's Antichrist.
shut up and
Yeah, it's
listen.
Antichrist.
Any organization that says we are human rights is the Antichrist. Do you want me to prove it to you? Do you? Do you see these international organizations coming against the government of the United States because there are more than 500,000 people on the streets, homeless people? Where are the rights? Where are these organizations talking about? They are the Antichrist. Nobody goes with humanity more than Jesus Christ himself. Do you understand that? Anybody? Josh J, go ahead. You wanted to say something? Go ahead.
Yeah, I do. I'm not speaking for Sunshine, but when she asked the question, I thought what I was looking for an answer is, are we in the 7-year tribulation? I think that's what she's looking for.
Well, that's
Everything
what
that you're
I
saying,
understood what you said. The 7-year tribulation hasn't started yet.
that's what I was looking for, and I think
Yeah.
that's what she's looking
Well,
for.
yeah, but it hasn't started yet. When
Okay,
you
good.
see people not mentioning, when you see humanity, when you see people not mentioning, not be able to express their religion or their belief, that's when you will see the persecution. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir, I do.
Okay, there you go. It's persecution. Are we seeing persecution right now? Are we seeing a culture of cancellation? Are we seeing that
It's
right now?
true. It's true. At work, you can't say Jesus. People look at you weird. I
Well,
mean, it's
that's
just
from the beginning.
ridiculous. I
Yeah,
agree.
but listen to
I
this. Are we seeing a culture of cancellation right now?
yes.
Yes. If we talk about against abortion, you've been canceled. If you're a right winger, you've been canceled. Right now, the culture of cancellation is happening right now. What's going to lead us? That this culture of cancellation will lead us to Christian persecution. Christian persecution is going to happen after this agenda of cancellation progress. Right now, we're just seeing the beginning. We're not in the 7 year yet. Do you guys understand that?
Yes.
Okay.
One more crazy question for you, and I'll leave you alone. So I'm sorry. So this vaccine, was it to change the
I don't want
DNA
to talk
of
about the fucking
Yeshua?
vaccine. No, let's not waste
Okay.
our time with vaccine. Any other questions?
Okay.
Any other questions?
Hey, Benny.
Yeah, go ahead.
So from a financial perspective, they are really pushing the CBDC. What kind of umbrella are we falling under then, if we are not going to run with their agenda? So ours is what, the currency valuation and the cryptocurrencies?
Okay, let me make it clear. If this is not the clearest way that I can explain about the financial system, and you're not gonna get it at all. Let me explain it so the way that even 12-year-old can understand that. Okay? There is a Phoenix system coming out. When the Phoenix system comes out, there will be a short period of people using paper currency. Do you understand that? Do you understand that? Yes or no?
Yes. Sorry,
Okay.
I wanted you
All right.
to.
So that Phoenix system is not gonna control your dollars. Your paper dollars is not gonna be controlled. They're gonna get rid of the paper dollar little by little. It might take 10 years for people to stop using paper dollar. Do you
Oh,
understand?
then, yeah.
So the Phoenix system will only control digital currency. Do you understand now?
Okay.
There are two systems that will live before Jesus comes back. The digital system and the crypto system. Do you understand the difference?
Okay, so there's going to be a war between currencies, the digital versus fiat.
No, you got it wrong. You got it all wrong. Okay? You need to understand the difference between fiat system and digital system. The fiat system is the paper system. They're going to
Yes.
get rid of the paper system little by little. It might take 10 years. The revaluation of paper currencies, it will not last forever. Paper currencies will only be around 10 more years, and that's it. In the meantime, paper currency will revalue. It will be equal to gold, the price in grams of gold. It will be a temporary system, a temporary time where paper currency will be equal to the price of gold. Do you understand that?
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay, so when they get rid of the paper system, they will stick with the digital system, the Phoenix system.
Which the Phoenix system is on the good side?
Did I ever say that?
No, I'm just making it
Why are you
make sense in my
you
head.
Protestant or Catholic? Are you Protestant or Catholic?
I'm definitely leaning more towards Protestant.
For Protestant, there is no middle. For Protestants, is good or bad.
Ah.
That's the difference between Catholics and Protestants. For Catholics, everything that comes from the world is bad. Do you understand that?
For
Do you understand
sure.
that? Okay, because we do not depend on the world. We are from the world, but we do not practice of the world. We do not. How is that husband? So, Karen McCoy, he said in the Bible. What the way he said in the Bible?
We are of this world. We are not of this world. We are, I don't know the exact words actually. Hang on.
Jesus Christ, you're even worse than me, man. Go back to the
We are
Bible. Go ahead.
We are in the world, but not of the world.
Yeah, we are in the world, but we're not from the world. Yeah. You see that? So in the Catholic Church, everything that comes from the world is evil, is bad for you. Do you guys understand that? Do you guys understand that? Yes or no?
Yes.
All right. For example, milk. There was a huge campaign. Milk is good for you. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Is it good for you? Is it good for you?
No,
Very
No,
bad
no,
for
no,
you.
no,
no.
Very bad for you. It's toxic. Do you
bad
know
for
that?
you.
Do you know that milk is bad for you?
Correct.
Yes.
It is. It's toxic. I've been treated right now. I have cancer all over my body. What is the first thing that Lamar said? Benny, no more milk, no more cheese,
No
no
dairy.
more pork. Done.
No dairy.
No dairy. See that? But for many years, they created cancer. How did they create cancer? Milk is good for you. See that? That comes from the world. That comes from the world. We have something else from Dr. Taylor Marshall coming out. It will call "Will the Pope Correct Biden Grave Errors?" It's gonna be interesting. This new video coming out from um, Marshall Taylor.
Steve Bank wanted to ask a question, Ben.
Go
Steve,
ahead, Steve. Steve Banks. That's my brother. Go ahead, Steve.
Hey, Benny.
What's up, bro?
Hey, everything's great. Well, no, it's really not a question, just the observation of the Protestants. Yes, I am one, but we have been taught to look at the world in a different perspective, as if we would be gone any minute, almost like the RV, and
Yeah,
we became callous to life. It stopped us from
but
achieving a lot of things. It stopped us from moving forward
well, you
because we
see,
were
that's one thing that I've been criticized, very open criticizing about
mhm,
Protestant churches and ideologies. Not every Protestant believe the same thing. You see that? But I'm just saying, I'm
correct,
just generalizing that for most Protestants, evil is evil and good is good, and that's not the case.
correct.
You know. So yeah, that's what I said. The things that I said. Hold
So
on, let
when
me just read some of the messages that I've been receiving of hate, please, and
okay,
I'll be
I'm out.
happy to answer. I know it's already taking too much time, but what can I do? Uh, okay, let me see. What's the other message that I'm receiving over here? There's a lot of message of hate that I've been receiving. Oh, I thought I had all these messages. I think it's in the Telegram. Let me take a look on Telegram. Karen, you want to take it over?
you know, one of the things that we wanted to say is tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 4 p.m. Join us because we're going to continue to talk about this. We're going to reveal some more things. You know, God is moving. There are things being revealed that are very important for us to understand at this time. So I'll be going live at 4 o'clock Pacific time, 7 o'clock my time in Canada, which is Eastern Time.
Okay.
And we're going to continue on.
All right. So it's 3:35 p.m. Pacific time. It's time for me to go. I taking the time, so I will let you know about the new video from Dr. Taylor Marshall. We're going to follow the visit of the Pope to Russia. And from there, we're going to see the big conflicts in Europe happening. And then when that big conflict start in Europe, I will be publicly called that we are on a high alert for the RB. Thank you so much for your attention. God bless each and every one. And I'll see you next time.